So, welcome to the parent conference call for Peer Tutors of Maryland. And I am Justin Field, president of Peer Tutors of Maryland, but I'm not the only one involved in the program. And so I'll tell you more about it, but also we have people in Alabama that are going to be joining us. Knowledge Works Learning Academy of Phoenix City, Alabama. They are a learning center, a nonprofit that needs help going virtual. So they got in touch with me. So the students in Peer Tutors of Maryland could come from Maryland, but they could also come from Alabama. And the tutors on the team could be tutoring people from Maryland or Alabama. And that's so that we can help them get up and running. But I thought that was pretty cool. And then just last week, we got another nonprofit from Houston called the Timothy Project. And so that's a different partnership. They are just sending students. People can donate to sponsor a student, and then they're using us to tutor them in math and reading and all the subjects that we do. And in return, they are hosting a class on character education for elementary and middle school students. And it's a free half-an-hour class twice a week. So that's what they do. They've been doing that for 20 years. So that's pretty exciting to me. But now I'm going to tell you about the company and the fall session and answer any questions you have. So take some notes, but also write down any questions. And I want to hear everyone ask a question, because that's the same thing we're going to ask the students to do too. All right. So let's get started. So let's go to the website. It's a Google site, but if you type in peertutorsofmaryland.com, it will lead you here. And so the opening page tells you how to register. And if you wanted to come to this conference call, that's right there too. And so here's the flyer. And the flyer has confused some families. So I'm going to say it in my own words, and then please ask any questions you have so that we all understand what Peer Tutors of Maryland offers and the prices. And then why the prices are the way they are too. So everything is online via Zoom. It happens the start times are between 2:30 and 7:30. So the end of the evening, it ends at 8:30. The subject and format. So you can join for a one-on-one tutoring session, the traditional tutoring, and we are going to offer that in math and reading. Or we have study groups for math, reading, writing, technology, Spanish, and English as a second language. Study group is it's like a small class of 4 to 6 students, but everyone is learning the same thing. And, with Common Core, we're all addressing the same standards. So that helps things be uniform. But they would all come to that small group led by a peer tutor, supervised by a teacher, and they would ask their questions in that. So if you think that your child would benefit just from that one-on-one, then you can choose that. But if you think, they would benefit from being in a study group, being influenced by their peers, still able to ask all their questions, then you can choose that. We also offer classes, but there's no classes open right now because people haven't really signed up for that because school is in session. And the classes are meant to be for homeschool students, where the parents say, well, I really don't want to homeschool for Algebra 1 or Geometry Algebra 2, then they could sign up with Peer Tutors of Maryland, and we could support them in that. Also for graphic design, Spanish, and biblical studies. So the one difference is the sizes. This is one-on-one, obviously. Study groups are 4 to 6 students, and classes go up to 25 students. The other difference is if you sign up for a one-on-one session, then you can most likely get the time that you're requesting. If you sign up for a study group, then that has to be a common time between all participants. So you're going to have to kind of make the time that the study group meets work. So any questions on that so far? The time or the types?
So, Mr. Fields, yes, I have a question on the one-on-one tutoring and more specifically the tutoring itself. I say for math, is that curtailed to the student and where they need support, or is that based on the curriculum
Oh,
that's being
it,
covered at the moment?
it's all based on where the student needs support.
Okay, great.
So yeah, I'll explain the process, but definitely the whole system is geared toward the individualized instruction.
Perfect.
And that does mean the student has some work to do before they get to the session,
Mhm.
but it will really benefit them.
Okay.
So the second thing is the price. So my mission up at the top here is to provide effective online assistance in mathematics and other subjects to students at a cost their families can afford. So I know some of you guys have joined Mathnasium and Kumon and other places like that in the past. And I've also, observed that those are pretty expensive. And so I wanted to reach a different market of families that says, I like to do tutoring, but that's expensive. So uh, being that I'm a certified teacher, but I'm using my former students, like my best former students, uh, for the one-on-one tutoring, the unit price is $20 a session, and then for the study group, it's $5 a session. So I worked it out so that I could pay the peer tutors, uh, and I could also pay the teachers and still make money as long as I charge $20 for the one-on-one and $5 per person for the study groups and classes. So I think it's a win-win because the teachers and peer tutors in the program are really happy to be earning what they're earning, and I hope you guys are all, like, oh, that's really cheap when you hear the prices. So the way it works is you pay for a 10-week block. So the $200 there is what you would pay every 10 weeks. So uh, if you pay $200, then once a week, your child will have a one-on-one tutoring session. If you pay 360, then they'll get two sessions a week. And so the reason it's 360 and not 400 is because you get 2 free sessions. So a little incentive for signing up more. And the study groups are the same thing. They're $5. So 10 times 5 is 50. And then twice a week would be 100, but I knocked off $5. So you get a session for free there. If you want to be in a study group 3 times a week, it'd be 140. And this is a popular option because that is what the students did over the summer. But there's also 4 times a week, which would be 185. So if you have a child that is enrolled in school, then you don't even have to worry about the class here at the bottom. I can even just cross that off here. So don't let that confuse you. Uh, just look at the prices for the one-on-one and the study groups, and you'll know how much you're going to have to pay. Any questions on the prices? All right. Well, no problem. So the first payment would be due August 31st. And so I'm really trying to make it fit into everyone's budget. So if you want to pay all at once, you can. If you want to make 2 payments, you can. The least you could do is a bi-weekly payment. So you just and then it'd be like what, $40, $30 coming out of, every 2 weeks, So that's how it goes for the signing up. And so you guys can right click on this and save it. And you can tell anyone that you'd like to, that you think would benefit from this program. And for every person you find, you get a free session. So keep that in mind. I'm I'm trying to get the word out, but I noticed the summer really grew when the parents in the program told other parents, and I think that's a really good way to grow as a group. So I would like to jump to the next tab if that's okay with everyone. So I want to go to the reviews. You can Google Peer Tutors of Maryland and see the reviews, but I just want to bring them up because I asked the students to write reviews and the parents as well. And so most of these reviews come from the students. You can see that they're all 5 stars. This is a parent. But anyway, my point in showing you this is that the students appeared to, okay, that's my wife. All right. But anyway, the students really appeared to enjoy the program. And the reason is the way we do it is when you show that you understand something, then you have to go and explain it to someone else, or at least answer their questions or see if you can spot their error. So you really start to feel important, once you know something. And I think students really enjoyed that. So our system works like this. And this is really important because we all need to know our roles, right? So the students are like the executive branch. So they have to, okay, so Mrs. Carter, this is going to answer your question. So before the students come to the session, they have to receive instruction. If they're in school, it means going to class and taking notes. If they're coming from homeschool or just in a class that they're not in school, then we would give them an instructional video. But in either case, they have to take notes and be prepared to show that to the tutor, or maybe even submit it through Google Classroom. They have to also complete their work prior to coming to the session. So in some tutoring programs, you might bring your work and say, all right, can we do this together? And then can I do this on my own or something like that? But with us, we are trying to get the students to do as much as they can ahead of time. And the reason is we want them to organize their work into 3 categories. I get this and I can show you the correct answer. I didn't get this at first, but I figured it out, or I think I figured it out. Let me show you that. You can verify that. And I am lost on this one, but I've read the solution. I'm still lost, but could you help me with step 2? Because step 1, I get that. I can see it's a triangle, but where did they get this dimension from? It's out of thin air. So if they can come to the session with that kind of organization, then they can really get their questions answered. And also, they did their prep work. So 1 and 2 have to be done before. 1, 2, and 3 have to be done before the session. So they completed their assignments and they fill out the class organized worksheet with their questions. And then they attend their peer tutors session. After that, after they have their questions answered, then they can retry or correct their assignment to get it up to 100%. And if they come into the session with their assignment already, good, then they don't have to say, I don't have to attend peer tutors this week. They should still attend because they could be helping other students in the group. And also, being in peer tutors and learning the method makes you eligible to be a peer tutor in the future. So you could be on the team earning money as a high school student. So that is what, and then if you have helped people, you've got your 100%, then you can even be given application assignment.
Excuse me, Bill.
Yeah.
Is that the same concept for the one-on-one tutoring?
Yeah. It's always that we want the students to come, doing that ahead of time work so that they are ready to come to the tutoring session with their questions. That's where we want to enter the learning process. So I hope you guys listen because I'm gonna be asking you the different steps that the students need to do. Okay, so everyone be ready for that. Of course, the answers are on the website. Second, the teachers are and the tutors are the legislative branch. So we set the expectation. We want to be facilitating the discussion between the groups, or using questions to guide the students in the one-on-one session. Organizing, if they're in a study group, then we use that data that they come in with to, maybe we just have the whole study group, or maybe they work in partners because two of the people get it and two of the people did it but have questions. And so getting the students to do as much work and the tutors to be facilitators, that really leads to effective instruction. And so this is what they are responsible for doing, the teachers and tutors. But you guys, the parents, you are the Supreme Court. So, in some places in education, is the attitude is more like, okay, thank you for the students. We'll give them back to you at the end of the day, and we'll let you know if there's any problems. Well, that is not my philosophy. My philosophy is that it is your job to educate your children, and we are here to help. So I want you to know, I want you to be in the know about what assignments have been completed, whether or not your child did the organized worksheet, monitoring the student work using their login information. A lot of these online things have parent logins, but I would recommend that you don't use that. Use your students' login. Just don't do their work, obviously. I mean, who wants to do their students' math homework, but know what they see when they log in, and, know whether they've done it or not. Because these kids, they live in, an accountable environment. I know that kids have a way of trying to hide stuff, but if you're using the web, the timestamps are there, who edited the Google Doc when and what they did, it's all saved. So we can really hold them accountable for the work that they do. And I cannot make sure that they attend the session, and I cannot make sure that they come with their work completed. So I need you guys to do that. And if they don't come with that completed, I'm going to send them back to you. So let's make sure that that gets done. And then, of course, your feedback is vital. So, we're both seeing things from different angles, and also when we put all our heads together, we can make the best system. So don't be afraid to tell me, like, Mr. Field, this is not right. You need to change, you need to do this. And I will take your feedback and make any improvements that I can. I don't aim to be a people pleaser, but if I hear a better idea, then I take it into consideration. So that's how it goes. Sometimes I talk before I think, and then someone tells me something, and then I change my mind. So I really value your feedback, good and bad. I'm a married father, so I can take constructive criticism. It's part of that role too. Now, your students won't be given A, B, C, D, or E by Peer Tutors of Maryland, but they will be given a rating, and it's called the Learning Goal Level. So the levels are 0 to 5, and so if they're given a level 0, then you'd be contacted immediately, and I'd ask for a conference, but that means they shut down. Level 1 means they're coming to the session, leaving the session, and they're not really understanding. Level 2, that's when they start to understand things. Their work has some correct elements, but you wouldn't say like, oh, they understand it. But they're growing. Level 3 is when they understand it. And you would think that would be the top level, but it's not, because level 4 is when we say, okay, you understand it. Now you're a group leader, or now you're a partner that's going to help this other student. And we're going to verify that you understand it, and like try to poke holes in your understanding so that you can develop it further. I know as a teacher, I'm always learning the material better because students are asking me all these different questions. And if I can ramble for just a second, with an example, my wife one time said, okay, so is y equals mx plus b? I said, yes. And she said, and b is the y-intercept? She said, that's dumb. I said, I never thought about it like that. I think you're right. Y should be the y-intercept, but it is b. So anyway, I figured out later that b is the y-intercept because a is the x-intercept. So you got a comma 0 is the x-intercept, and then the second intercept is the y, so that's b. Does everyone understand that? No. All right. So anyway, my point in saying that is that she saw something in a different way than I did, and it helped me look further into something. And so that's what we want the students to do. And then once they reach that level where they can even explain the work, critique the work, then we can give them application assignment. And what I did for that this summer was I had 7 different experts come in on Thursday evenings and talk about what they did. And students in the summer had to listen and they could ask questions. But my goal was to create a little library of things. So we have sales, engineering, medical testing, and business, so that they could go back and listen to what the professionals are saying and try to find the math in it. Because I really believe if you dig deep enough into anything, you'll find mathematics is there. It's like the language of sophistication. Everything, yeah. So that's level 5. I'm not going to go through all the choices about why choose us, but you can read it. It's suffice to say that we work as a team. So while your student may be working with a peer tutor, and there are definite benefits from that, they're going to be working with someone who is a top-notch student and who has lots of positive influence that they can be to your student. They're not alone. They're supported by me or another certified teacher, and we're all there on the Zoom call to help each other and to create a plan. Then the tutor is implementing the plan, but they can always press the help button anytime they need, and then we debrief with them after. So that's how the organization works, and I hope that you guys, like the people in the summer session, feel like you're in good hands when as we go through the fall. So last thing on the website is the team. I really want to show you the team, okay, because it grew since the summer. So we have me. I've been a math teacher since 2009 and a tutor since 2005. I started tutoring the student athletes at Michigan State. That was fun. I have a master's degree from Johns Hopkins for technology and for educators. Taught high school at Chesapeake High School and Hartford Tech High School, and I'm currently teaching CMIT Middle School. And so you can see I've taught a lot of different courses. But now and we have some other teachers here. So that was really cool. We had Miss Burton joined us for the summer, and she's a 23-year veteran elementary teacher. So she is supervising the elementary portion because I'm a middle school and high school teacher. I can help the elementary students, but I much prefer when someone else does that. So that is Miss Burton. But also joining us, Mr. Otarola is studying for his doctorate in special education. He's been a teacher since 2005, but he's taking some time off to do that. Last year, he taught social studies in a Spanish immersion setting. So he is available this fall for Spanish and reading. We also have Ms. Green, who is a talented and gifted teacher in elementary, and she also spent some time in middle school and even some time coaching principals in Washington, D.C. So she's been in the game since 2003. Ms. Moore is middle and high school reading, also a veteran teacher. You can see, just can't believe the people that are on board. We have Madame Austin, who we have a French teacher. She studied in France, lived in France for 2 years, and even started her teaching there. So she's joining us. So if anyone has any interest in learning French, we can help you with that. And Mrs. Gary is she is the executive director from the Alabama Center, and she's another special educator as well. So, we got math, we have reading, we have special ed, Spanish, French, and I think that it's a good team to start with. I think it's a great team. And then our peer tutors are all my former students, and these I've had like some of the best students in the past couple of years because I started in high school, and when you go to middle school, you teach the honors section. So you get students studying high school courses in middle school. So you can see everyone's from CMIT except for Charity comes from Chesapeake High School. She's college age now. And so that's our peer tutor team. So any questions on the website? Oop. I can see you guys now. All right. Then I just have a couple more things. So now, mostly everyone here should have registered already for the fall session. So I'll be getting to the details about when your session will be in just a moment. But I wanted to tell you the vision is to have a peer tutors program in, I think every school could do this because, if you have your middle school, honors middle school teacher teaching the right way, training kids to help each other, then they could set up a program when those kids are working age and not their students anymore. So I think it's going to be a great program, but I want it to be multiple programs and not just me running a huge program, because I want to know everyone in the program, and I want you to feel like, I can call Justin, I can call Mr. Field, he's going to help. All right. So that wouldn't work if it was like 1,000 students. So that's the vision. And we went through the learning process. Can you guys give me a virtual thumbs up if you feel like you understand the learning process? Let's see. Oh, I see that. I see some actual thumbs, some virtual thumbs. Okay, Ms. Carter, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Carter. All right. Well, then with all those thumbs up, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. Okay, so I don't want any of your students coming unprepared without their notes or their assignments complete, because we really saw that once they did that over the summer, they really benefited. And okay, so we'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis. So you can register now if you haven't already. Payment is due by August 31st, as I said. At least bi-weekly, so you can pay in full, you can pay half, you can pay the first 2 weeks. The reason is because that way I can pay the tutors. You guys know how to register. That was on the homepage of the website. If you invite people to register, then just direct them to the website and also have them email me as well, because I don't get a email automatically when people register. And I said already that each person you invite to the program will get a free session. But we're only trying to enroll 200 students in this program. But then we have the Alabama program too as well. So technically we could have more than that. But I'm not trying to make my particular program over 200 students. All right, just a few more things. If you have already registered, then your spot has been assigned, your tutor has been assigned, and they should be emailing you today or tomorrow and CCing me to introduce themselves and tell you when your session is. If you signed up for a one-to-one session, then the time you requested is probably the time they're going to meet. If you signed up for a study group, Then the elementary study groups to start are going to be from 3:30 to 4:30, Tuesday to Thursday. And the Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 study groups will be 5:30 to 6:30, Tuesday through Thursday. So the program has potential to be Monday to Thursday, and we can have study groups at more than 1 hour. But based on the people that had enrolled already, that's where we're starting. So as your students go into the year, if you're like, man, I really could use a study group at 7:30 and not 3:30, then if they just get 3 of their classmates at least to enroll, then we could open a study group. And they could all be from the same class. It'd be really easy to keep it, same content. So that is this last bullet point. And that's it. So do you guys have any questions, or should I ask some formative questions to make sure you understand?
So, Mr. Fields, I registered. I must have missed something where I make the payments. I guess I'll go back into peertutorsofmaryland.com and look for that space.
Oh, well, I don't mind showing you how to make the payments. That would be no problem at all. Okay. So down at the bottom of the homepage, how to make a payment. So you can go through PayPal. You just send it to my email address, or Cash App is $ Peer Tutors Maryland. And then some families, request a different method. So if there's a different method, then you can contact me about that. But those are my preferred methods. They make accounting less of a struggle.
Okay.
Any other questions? I think we have a question in the chat. Sorry, I had to leave early. No problem. I registered, but I think it's best to sign them up for one. Oh, yeah. So a parent just said I registered for 1-to-1, but I think it's better to sign up for a study group. And so keep this in mind that if you sign up for something and you want to switch it, it's not a problem. Even if it's less expensive and you've already paid, you can be refunded or whatever. It's all about making sure that you guys have what you need. So if you want to do 1-to-1 tutoring, but you're not sure whether you should have 1 or 2 days a week, I would say start out with 1 day, because it's the beginning of the school year. It should start off less complex. And then if you need to add a second day, you can request that.
Mr. Justin,
Yes.
are the study groups like the same grades? Like,
Yeah. So right now, because of the level of enrollment, the study groups are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you're in those grades, then it could be people in your grade or 1 grade away from you. But that still works out because I didn't show you the organized worksheet. You guys, come on, no one asked me to show you the organized worksheet. Okay, so here it is.
Jacob and Ian can be together, a second grader and a fifth grader, right?
Oh no, not 2nd and 5th grade. It would be 2nd and 3rd grade, 4th and 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
Because is what the student. This is essential,
the work
especially
is too
since
far apart.
Say that again.
I think, wait, so like a 2nd and 5th grader can't be together because their stuff is way too far apart.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it'd be like, all right, let me
It'd
see.
be like,
Wait for the
the
second grader to
2nd
add
grader
those
is
together.
studying addition and the 5th grader is studying fractions.
Yeah. And, I actually asked a 2nd grader to add some fractions, and they looked at me like a deer in the headlights. So you don't want to put that in front. It's too far. But if you put 1 grade apart, then, the 5th grader can be like, aha, I can teach you that, and that's what it's all about. We want them, be in the level 3 and the level 4. So the organized worksheet is essential to be filled out by your son or daughter before their session. Because like you said, Mrs. Carter, we want it to be individualized. So the way that works is by them knowing, putting it in. So if they
Mr.
have
Justin,
yeah,
I have a question.
okay.
Which one, one-on-one or study groups? Which one do you think would benefit someone better?
Oh, well, it depends how much, it depends what level they're at. So if they're at a level 1, then a one-on-one would be better. But if they're at the level 2, sometimes at the level 3, then a study group. So, if you're in a study group and then you have so many questions and people are just like getting it and you're still like, wait a minute, then, one-on-one would be better. But so the one-on-one means you just put your question in here and you have to, underneath each problem, describe what happened as best you can, so that once you put all your problems in, then I make a game plan with the tutor, and then you have your session, and then we recap and we put the solutions in here as well, so that when it's time to go back for the study for the test, you can see all the questions you asked, all the solutions you were given that you wrote during the session, and that's how the one-on-one goes. The group organized worksheet is a shared Google Doc, so everyone's putting their name, their problem, and their question in. And I want to show you guys the geometry one from the summer, so you can see they were putting their problems in and putting their comments, and in some cases, like Aim will put this problem in, and then Haley said, "Oh, I can explain that." So then during class, I said, "Okay, let's do Amel's problem." Okay, Haley, explain it. And then they're working together. It's student centered, and so that's how the study group works.
Mr. Fields, do you have study groups for high school kids?
Absolutely. Yep. It goes up through Algebra 2 and SAT prep.
So would it be in like I have a ninth grader, would be 9th and 10th?
Yeah. So once you get into 9th grade, you could be going into Algebra 1,
Mhm.
Geometry, or Algebra 2.
All right. And do you have a one-on-one tutor for 9th grade as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any of the subjects on the flyer, we can do study groups.
One-on-one.
Or one-on-one. Well, one-on-one for math or any reading.
Or reading, math and reading, one-on-one. Okay.
Oh, I should really say that the one study group that could be bigger than 6 is if one of the teachers in the group have a session. So if you want to join a reading study group and we have Miss Moore lead it, then it could be 10 students. But she's a certified teacher. She's used to 25 students. So that's what we did over the summer, and it worked out well. And I could also pay the teachers. Any other questions?
I have a question. If we've signed up for like the one-on-one for 2 days a week, specifically focusing on reading, however, we might, identify that the child might need some assistance with math. Are we able to split the days, 1 day math, 1 day reading during the week?
Yeah, and especially if you sign up for a one-on-one, because I asked the tutors what they could tutor, and they're all my best form of math students. So the ones that said, "Yeah, I can do math and reading," so you could definitely do that. In fact, I know the people that I matched you with can do math and reading.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the questions. And you guys who have asked your questions, check your emails for that Amazon gift card, complimentary. Just kidding.
Just one other question, Mr. Fields. What are the times for the one-on-one? Is it an hour or?
Oh yes, all sessions are 1 hour. So it's the times are 1 hour, and if you sign up for a one-on-one session, unless there's a case where I can't find a match, you'll probably get the time that you signed up for. Okay, whoa, we have to, we'll start math. We need to add math. Okay, just reading in the chat. Can you guys give me a virtual thumbs up if you're okay with me using this conference call to put out there for other parents who are not able to attend? You can also give me a thumbs down if you say no. Please do not put. If I don't see any thumbs down. Okay, good. Because there's some parents that were not able to attend, so I just recorded it. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any other questions, then make sure you register. If you registered, then you can look in your emails for the peer tutor to contact you with me CC'd on the email to let you know when the session is. First sessions will be taking place next Tuesday. Elementary study groups at 3:30. High school study groups at 5:30, one-on-one sessions at the time that we set. And that is where we're starting.
Mr. Justin,
Yes.
this is Ian from last
I
thing.
know.
Do you have to send the payment the same way?
Thanks for asking, Ian. Yeah, you can send the payment the same way that you did in the summer. That works just fine.
Okay.
All right, any other questions before we get off? Can you guys give me one more virtual thumbs up if you have a family in mind that you can tell about Peer Tutors Maryland?
I have two more families.
Oh, that's good. Okay, because I have the Houston people and the Alabama people are going to be bringing students in, but I want to give you guys precedence. So spread the word, and that's the way we can do that. All right, well, let's end it for there. And I will schedule another parent conference call probably about halfway through, but if you feel like we need to all get together before then just request we do this again, and it's no problem. All righty?
Mr. Field,
Yes, Ms. Crooks.
would I be able to do a personal one-on-one call with you to talk to you about the summer and some other things that I had with Camille?
Yeah, after we end this call,
Yeah, just
we
take
can-
about 5 minutes of your time. It's easier than the emails.
no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I look forward to the fall session, and stay in touch. Make sure your students come prepared, and it's going to be great. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.